Hi, my name's ShawNshawN. I do art on ShawNshawN.co and specials on eBay. Today we're going to review Annabelle Comes Home. So this is the third Annabelle. They've had two other Annabelles before this, and they also have, at the same time, they have the Conjuring series, which meshes in with that, and there's, I think, 2 or 3 Conjuring, so this is basically movie 6. So when you do a series that long, you're kind of just beating a dead horse in a way, and you have to come up with new material. In this case, what they've done is the parents are out of town, so the 2 leads that we've seen before from the Conjuring, who play like this mother who can see spirits and all this, and the father kind of helps her get rid of the spirits. They go out of town, so their young daughter's alone. They have a babysitter, trust a babysitter, and then this friend Daniela shows up. And Daniela is a little bit into mischief, and she works her way into the house, and she's like, hey, I'll watch you guys bake a cake, and then go roller skate, and gives her some roller skates. And then she does that purposely so she can actually go and sneak into this secret room that the Warrens have that has all the different prizes, and she has Annabelle locked up. So, and Danielle goes down there, draw the spirits out so she can able to speak to her dead father. And the reason for that is because they had a car wreck, boom, and she was driving, and then her father dies, and they just talk about it, and that's kind of why she conjures up the spirits, and then Annabelle gets loose, and then all hell breaks loose, right? This is basically the story. And then, of course, the parents show up the next day. So one of the flaws of this story is the backstory of Daniela. It's pretty good in the sense that the reason why she sneaks in the basement is not because she's a curious teen only, but because she wants to speak with her dead father. So that's a really solid motivation. However, they just tell you what happened. They could have showed this. It would have been way better, way more scarier if they had shown Danielle in the car driving, and then some freak accident and her dad gets decapitated or something horrific. And that would have really, like, boom, set the tone for the film. And in this case, they just talk about her death, and really no one dies in this film. Like, all the protagonists survive. Even this lead boy who has kind of a crush on one of the girls shows up, and he survives. So despite, Annabelle's supposed to be the most evilest spirit in their basement, and she wakens up all the other little toys and everything, and no one dies. You're like, how evil is she? She hasn't killed one thing, dude. I mean, Chucky could finish her in a day, right? The Annabelle's, what a wuss, I get the feeling... Yeah, and it's just, because no one dies, it's not that scary. You really need to they have a good tension build, and then there's some action at the film. So I think they do a great job building the tension, and then boom, some action, all hell kind of breaks up loose in Act 3. That part's kind of solid as far as the slow build, and then boom, you have some stuff happen. But no one dies, and her father, they don't show that dying. They could have used that, and that would have been like a real death in the film. The cheesy kid, he probably should have died. Yeah, it's just like no one dies in this film. It's like, dude, you gotta have people die. I mean, you're R-rated, so just go kill some people, right? I do like it that it's mostly focused on the scare. That's what I like these kind of films for, but you gotta have some dead bodies. I mean, just no dead bodies, just kind of like, dude, you gotta have more than that. It's not scary then. I could just have Annabelle right at my house and have a party every day, and people be like, woo, let's go see what the scary stuff Annabelle's doing. So that's kind of funny. Other thing is they're kind of relying on this really overly 70s decor, really bad wallpaper. The architecture is very 70s, which is cool. But again, it's in 6 series. I guess they're tied because it's a series that they're stuck in the 70s. But I just feel like it's kind of lazy script writing in a way. A historical piece sets a really good tone for a horror film. But the only reason those are set in the 70s is because they're kind of playing off The Exorcist and The Shining, which came out in the 70s, man. You could shoot this in the 2000s, shoot it in today's world and still make it scary, with cell phones and everything. You can still make it scary. I think the fact that these kids are more cut off and they don't have cell phones is scary in itself. However, yeah, just leave the 70s as it is and just do your own stuff. I mean, unless there's a reason why it's specifically shot in the 70s, I just feel like it's kind of lazy script writing in a way. I get it. It works for, millennials that go see this. They're just in their 20s. They're going to be freaked out, with the lack of cell phones and these old school 1920s, 30s films running, rotary phones and all this kind of stuff. It makes sense in the TV and the radio, and people are like, whoa, this is super creepy. So for millennials, I guess that's, who it's scary, and that's probably the core audience, so maybe they roll with this. But yeah, they should have brought some kind of different element to Annabelle, I think. They do in a sense that it's the kids against the demons, so that's kind of cool, but, the kids defeat the demons and no one gets killed. You're like, dude. I mean, maybe they thought it was too gruesome to have teens killed off and young girls killed off. But yeah, the young girls should probably survive somehow, like the same in Exorcist. But you gotta have some other people die, right? Otherwise, it's just not that spooky. The parents probably should have showed up too and really got rid of the demons. I don't think the teens would have been able to handle it themselves. I mean, if teenagers can handle this, I could definitely have this in my closet and smoke some ganja. Hey, Annabelle, what's up? Show us your scary stuff. You know, I think, you know, the young girls did a good job as far as making it look scary, as far as they were reacting to it. So that acting is great. You know, McKenna Grace plays Judy. That's pretty good. Madison Iseman plays Mary Ellen. Katie Sarif plays Danielle. I think that's pretty solid acting. And then you have the parents, of course, which have been in The Conjuring before. They're solid, but they're just barely in the film. It's mostly the teens. And, of course, all the demons and stuff. And I don't know who plays that, but yeah, I think there was just more potential here. And there's a little bit with the bully at school, with the young girl, and you know, maybe that kid gets knocked off. That would have been better. And then it was really dumb because the kids were scared to come to her house for a birthday party because she's like the demon parents or whatever, you know, these witch doctors. And so all the kids are spooked, which totally makes sense. And then at the end they show up at a party. You're like, dude, that's totally unrealistic. It should have been like 3 kids show up, not like the whole freaking school shows up. Hey, we forgive that your dad are witch doctors. So again, that kind of doesn't make sense in the end. I mean, it's a nice kind of Hollywood ending, but in a way, it really doesn't make sense. So overall, I think it was a fun film. It's the number 6 of the season. There's only so much you can do when you get to the number 6 in the series. So yeah, I just expect a little more dead bodies and maybe some different twist on it. I felt like it was kind of a repeat and nothing new dredged up. They just used all the same stuff that was in the house already. So it would have been nice to kind of have a different twist on Annabelle. I think that they could have been different. Like Annabelle was connected to the death of her father, Danielle's father maybe, or something, and then Danielle gets killed. That would have made more sense to me. But overall, it's okay, I guess, entertaining. Not super big film. It's just a one-watch film. These kind of films, since they're scary, they're probably better in the cinema than at home. But if you have a nice creaky house like I do, it might be great at your house too. So yeah, I'd say okay. If you want to subscribe, you can subscribe below. And I'll see you in the next movie review. Thanks for watching, guys.